broke this news via your Twitter, but then you attacked us and said, not really, though. Dallas Cowboys have been an interesting follow during the free agency period. Now going into the draft season with the Dak news, not signing anybody. Then Jerry Jones allegedly alludes to they're going to have to win with less going forward, even though they're all in. Where are the Dallas Cowboys at right now? What does Dak Prescott's future look like? What's Mike McCarthy's future look like? In the state of the Cowboys, from what you're hearing here, boots on the ground.
We spoke to Mike yesterday, right, in the next room, and said to him the Eagles have been very active in free agency. Giants have been very active in free agency. Commanders have been very active in free agency. And congratulations on re-signing your long snapper, because that's basically what they've done in addition to drafting.
Just the way you said it.
Got it.
Yeah.
We were having fun. And he believes that they've got guys coming off injured reserve that are going to make a difference. He believes that there are guys going into their second and third years that are poised to take big jumps. That's what they think. But the problem is that they've got to make more moves. They got to pay CeeDee Lamb. They got to pay Micah Parsons. They haven't done anything with Dak at all. And the time to do a deal with Dak was before free agency, and they didn't do that. So there was no cap savings. So if they wanted to go get some of these marquee free agents that were out there, they're gone. They're off the street. So now they're in a situation with Dak going into the last year of his deal. He's got a $55 million cap number. If he leaves after this year, the dead cap money charge is $95 million that they're going to have to spread out.
Jeez.
Yeah, which would be a new NFL record, even though
$95 million dead cap, and he leaves, and no trade clause, no tag clause. So when you're going into the last year of contract, he now becomes the 2024-25 version of Kirk Cousins. And Dak, to me, is a really good quarterback. So if and when he becomes a free agent next year, Dallas may want him back, but there might be a quarterback-needy team. Giants, Commanders, who knows? Like, we could go through the list right now. There'll be no shortage of suitors for Dak Prescott as a true unrestricted free agent on the open market. Like,
that's an ESPN dream, isn't it? That's for you.
You know what? I remember when his contract was coming up a few years ago.
Oh, yeah.
That may have led Get Up and SportsCenter and NFL Live every day for like months on end.
Oh, yeah, and then a deal didn't get done. And then, obviously, he gets hurt.
Yeah.
And then now it's all of us, we're back in it.
Yep.
And then the deal happens.
It's a quarterback league. It's Dallas Cowboys. If you combine the quarterback with the Cowboys.
With free agency.
With a guy like,
hundreds of millions of dollars.
We might as well just you call it like DSPN, like Dallas.
Well, that's what some people do call it. They do call it DSPN for a lot of things.
Different.
You talked about the $95 million cap or dead cap.
Yeah.
The $85 million dead cap we'd never seen before, unprecedented. Sean Payton was asked at one of his breakfast things, drinking a coffee. Hey, did you worry about the $85 million dead cap? No. And they just moved on. And the internet's like, wow, Sean Payton hated Russell Wilson. That was the immediate response from that answer. That was unprecedented. But do you think because the salary cap's going up, we'll see how the Denver Broncos do? Is this a potential, like, going forward, we're going to see these types of things happen more often with the way deals are being structured?
I don't.
That's a lot of money.
So much.
Well, I think Sean Payton legitimately believes that he's going to find a quarterback or develop a quarterback, whether Jarrett Stidham is the guy or they draft a quarterback high. He likes Jarrett Stidham.
He's a dog. He's the king of Friday Night Lights in Texas high school football.
He likes him. He likes him, and he'll be an option. But when you do a contract like that doesn't work out, you're going to have to take your medicine at some point in time. So they're saying, you know what, we're going to take it now, and we're going to do our best to get through.
Has to have a lot of trust from the ownership then, right?
Absolutely.
Dak Prescott contract situation has always sort of been lingering. And I kind of thought in my head that maybe they're going to let him play it out like they're going to let McCarthy play it out. Talk to enough people here, you kind of do enough background work. And by the end of this, I was able to report that basically where they are is the Cowboys and Dak have an understanding that no contract extension is imminent. That basically he is set to play it out and play out the final year of his contract like McCarthy, which kind of paves the way for him to be a free agent next year, which is sort of high stakes and fascinating. And like it seemed to point in this direction because when they didn't get a deal done by free agency, you knew like, all right, that would have been the time. But that's one of the things I learned here, and I think it kind of sets up for like one of the most interesting Cowboys seasons we've seen in a while.
Hell yeah. A lot of dead cap we've heard if they are to move on. $95 million allegedly.
I don't know the actual number, but I'm sure it's a lot because they kind of kicked it down the road. But like
kick can down.
yeah, but there's ways you can pay it out kind of over the years. Now, I mean, obviously they would. Best case is he leads them to a Super Bowl. They do an extension after the year at some point. He gets an astronomical sum and everyone's happy. If it doesn't go like that, then it gets really, really interesting.
Oh, the Dallas Cowboys are always really interesting.
Oh, no.
Especially with what we're learning about inside the building. They watch people in the weight room as if they're zoo animals.
That's right. Tours.
Is that true?
Well, that's what we were told, and then it was taken as the entire building's a zoo, and then we almost burned a bridge with a tight end for the Houston Texans.
Exactly.
Oh, this was the Schultz. Oh, yeah. I didn't think his comments were bad. I mean, that's
taken out of context, which some people do on the internet, making a career out of taking things out of context.
A lot of
actually.
that.
Yeah. Rest in piss, too, if anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like those people.
Yep.
Dude, it's worse than
Ever. There's people making full careers out of it. But whenever you take that and then it just gets kind of bum, that just becomes the story of what was said. And it was like, he certainly said it was a zoo, but we were talking about the weight room at the exact time, not the entire building. But their entire culture did get called into question a lot during that entire thing. Jerry Jones, he's still very active. We saw the notes he was taking the other day.
Yeah, good notes. Yep.
Still very, very
Dynamite.
active in the entire thing. How often is that conversation still had? Because I know publicly it's like Jerry Jones, as long as he's around, they're never going to win because of things like that. That's not how it is behind the scenes at these owners' meetings.
I don't.
Look at those notes, dude.
Oh, my God.
Great nails.
Yeah.
Got a manicure.
Very well manicured.
Very well manicured.
Oh, Matt.
Please.
You-
Never know.
I mean,
right.
There's definitely a joke in there somewhere.
Yep.
What?
I do appreciate the doodling. I'm a big doodler. I do bubble letters is like kind of my doodle. And,
Ah, okay, I get you.
yeah.
I do
I've
houses.
always-
I build houses.
Do you?
Yeah, but just
It's
just
a good one.
whenever you're on the show and you go to full screen on our show,
You're building
I'm
houses?
drawing houses. Yeah. Just what is this?
I do 3D squares.
Yep, 3D cubes.
Yeah, cubes.
Yeah,
Stars in there.
Yeah, we actually owe you a lot of credit because when you're on, we find ourselves doing it the most. So we
See,
appreciate.
I knew I was good for something.
Yeah, we
I wasn't
became
sure
great
what,
doodlers.
but
Yeah.
He's potentially trying to make me draw an entire book.
Yeah, we'll see. So, this guy's not
Oh.
saying shit. I can go ahead and just.
Yeah, this guy's not giving us any answers.
I will say this in all seriousness: if you came out with a doodle book, I would put it on my bookshelf.
Yes.
I wouldn't read it or whatever.
shit.
Would
but
you
I
be able to
put
see it
the
on
bookshelf.
NFL Plus?
You sure would.
Who else?
Whoa!
The insiders?